And we are live. Welcome to everyone watching to yet another episode of this video series where we are interviewing multiple experts in the sales industry, founding AEs at tech companies and stuff like that to help us to shape the ultimate sales AI. Today, I'm here with Nico and I'm really excited to get into the conversation with him. But just before that, I want to give a quick refresher for everyone that is watching that does not know yet what Luna.ai is all about. So Luna.ai is an all-in-one B2B sales platform. We're basically using AI to find your perfect leads, do all of the research on the internet, and then use that information to write highly effective and highly converting sales emails. So we train the AI to do that all for you, so that you can focus on the good stuff and focus on building the relationship with your customers and closing your deals. And in order to build the perfect platform, the best possible way for an AE/salesperson to interact with our AI and with our platform, we're interviewing these sales professionals. So without further ado, today we're having a great conversation with Nico. Could you please introduce yourself to the people watching?
Thanks, Stephen. Yes, I'm Nico. I am with OneMob. I am, as Stephen said, the founding AE at OneMob, and I've been with OneMob now for 3 years. OneMob itself is still a startup, even though we're 10 years old. In July this year will be our 10th birthday. So a big milestone for a SaaS company. I think nowadays it's kind of a big milestone for us. Yeah, and I'm thrilled to be here. I think this is an excellent initiative, and I really hope I can add some value.
100%, 100%. We've of course been looking into what you guys are doing and what you've been doing yourself as well. So this is going to be good. Can you maybe, for the people that are not familiar with OneMob, share a bit more about what you guys are building? Because from the looks of it, it's really cool.
Sure. Well, we started out by saying the best way that a message is remembered is really through storytelling. And the most effective way of doing that or presenting that story is nowadays through the use of video. So we built a platform that's not just a video recorder or video sharing tool like some of the other tools that you could just jump on and you can quickly record a message, save it, and share it. But we thought a better way of doing this is by helping our customers build a very quick, personalized microsite. So what is a microsite? A lot of people refer to it as landing pages, but I think a microsite is different in a couple of ways. And the easiest way to explain this is you can almost build a mini microsite for your customer that's personalized. You can embedded in that microsite, you can have a short introductory video where, let's say 20-30 second video where I just introduce myself and where I kind of pitch the other content that I have built into the microsite. And that microsite can contain call to action buttons that's customizable, other videos, text. You can embed documents. There's a place where you can add an iframe, so you can basically put a website into the microsite, and you can customize it and then templatize it as well, so that you can reuse that microsite, maybe just record a different personalized video message. But the big secret behind this is that personalization. Yes, you can record one video that you can send to 10,000 people, or you can create a video for a person. And obviously, through that level of personalization, you get far higher engagement and you really boost your productivity by doing that. Yes, it takes some time, but because you've got a template already built, it'll take you 30 seconds to record the video, edit the video, and place it in a microsite and then share it with your customer. So it doesn't need to take you any time to really personalize it. And that's what OneMob achieves. So we've built our platform now where we've got multiple enterprise customers such as HPE and IBM and Nuance. Google's been playing around with it as well. So we've got some large enterprises, and then we've got a one-man business that can just log on to our free plan, sign up for free. There's no limit on the amount of videos that they can make or the number of microsites that they can create, and they can share this and already start experiencing the benefits of this personalized microsite.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really cool. Like with Luna, we're all about quality over quantity, and I think this is the pure definition of it. Imagine receiving 10, 20, 50, 100 templated emails a day with, "Hey Nico, awesome to see you're working at OneMob. Do you want to buy this software platform?" And then you get one where you're like, "Hey, I just prepared some more information about it." And you get like a personalized website with all of the stuff that you can think about. Damn, that's awesome. That's awesome. Maybe like this is also a question for me personally, just out of interest. Do you have any like use cases or benchmarks or something that where you can see like the difference between just blasting out templated messages and really going in for the quality one? Is there like any data or results that you can share with us?
We rely on the data that we get back from our customers. And one of our large enterprise customers, they've got more than 1,200 licenses with us currently. Their sales enablement team put together the data over the last 2 years of them using OneMob, and they can see that they've got about 7.6 times better engagement through using OneMob than just the normal cold calling, mass emailing, etc., etc. So
I was waiting for the percent, like 7.6%, but it's times.
It's times, yes.
That's crazy.
760 or 860%.
Yeah. Damn, that is awesome. That's awesome. And I can fully imagine that that's the case. Very, very cool. Nice. This is also one of the reasons why we're very much looking forward to having you on and you sharing your story, because like I said, this is what we're all about, right? We want to increase the quality of the outreach and make sure that every email sent is a relevant one, therefore reducing the noise in the inbox and make it like a positive, like vicious circle where well, the lower the noise, the better the quality, no noise better. And then in the end, you'll just have like every email you send out will be perfect hit. That's the future that we're dreaming about.
Yeah, and I might even mention here that we've also got a Chrome extension that we've built that works beautifully with Luna. So when you're sending out emails and you want to personalize, you can just, in that email, you're in the email editor, you can grab the extension and just add a thumbnail with that link to your microsite straight in there when you are personalizing it. And it works really well.
Damn, that is very cool. We're going to continue this conversation after the interview, but nice, awesome. Maybe to dive a bit deeper into your like background and your experiences and expertise as a founding AE, because like many of the people watching this series are people that are like the first sales hire or one of the first sales hires at a tech company, like a SaaS company and stuff like that. And it is a challenging job, right? The pressure to perform is high. There's a lot of context switching. You're basically expect to perform without anything being there. No playbooks, no nothing. How was that for you when you first started at OneMob? What did the basically what was the situation when you just got started there?
Well, I want to start about 2 weeks before I started with OneMob. Part of my whole interview process, and I was in a position also as an account executive with a different company at the time, and my wife actually saw a LinkedIn job place posting at OneMob. She said, "This, you would love this," and I pursued it. And part of the interview process, our Sati Hilya, our CEO, he gave me access to the OneMob platform and said, "Play around with it, create a microsite for us as part of your interview. We just want to see how intuitive the platform is and if you can, how quickly you can familiarize yourself with the platform." So it was back three years ago. It was a lot more complicated than it is now. We've improved the UI tremendously, but I created a microsite with a short recording, just introducing myself, and then I built the microsite. I attached my experience and my CV and some references as content in the microsite, and I shared it. And about 20 minutes after I shared it, I got an email to say it's been watched. The video was watched. They've clicked on the content, and I'm like, "Whoa, this is really cool." And then I got another email to say that somebody else has watched it. And at that time, it was Rob Rashut. He was head of customer success at OneMob. So Sati had forwarded that email of mine to Rob, and he'd also watched my video and looked at my content. And I thought, that's amazing. But I haven't got the job yet. But now that I've got access to OneMob, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to reach out to all those customers that have ghosted me over the last 6 months. So I made personalized microsites for all of them. And these are people that I've done a proposal for. I've put together white papers, all these kind of things. And I've emailed them and I've phoned them, and they just ghosted me completely. And of the 12 microsites that I made and sent out to these ghosted customers, I got 9 replies, not just opens and watched. I got 9 replies saying, "Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. We've been really busy. We've gone through a little bit of transformation, but can you refresh your proposal?" And from that, I actually closed 2 deals. So, but
Wow.
then I got the position at OneMob. And so starting at OneMob was really easy because I've already seen the power of what OneMob can do. So it took some time to obviously build a playbook, to do the discovery, to scrape the internet and find the people to connect with, because now all of a sudden, where previously I was focusing on sub-Saharan Africa, now I'm looking at Europe and North America. So I had no base. I had no customers to go back to and resell. So I had to start that from scratch. And useful AI tools. Again, 3 years ago, AI was, it's hard to imagine, but 3 years ago, AI was a rumor almost. There was 1 or 2 tools, and started scraping LinkedIn and started sending OneMobs. And obviously, I am not going to send out emails to somebody who I'm trying to sell a microsite platform to. So that would be, exactly the opposite. So I use OneMob exclusively in my outreach, and it is viral. Because as soon as a customer of mine starts using it and they start reaching out to their customers, they could also potentially be customers of mine. And that's how it comes back. So it really is, it has an inherent virality to it, which is very exciting.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. That's very cool. So you really were able to hit the ground running when you first started the OneMob.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely.
Nice. How was that for you two? Because what was OneMob at the time? Did they already had customers, probably, like they've been in business for a while. So when you started, what would you say about like the pressure to perform, right? From the management team, the founders of the company, they were probably doing sales themselves. They brought you on, so there was like, okay, now we have a full-time AE, so we're gonna 10x easily. What was happening there?
I must say, we in our business team wear different hats all the time. So to be honest, I was never expected to only go out and hunt for new logos. It is obviously the core of my business. That's my focus. That's where I spend most of my time on. But I also help with customer success. I help with customer training, with onboarding. I help with social media exposure. So there's a whole bunch of different functions. And there was, I think, maybe that virality that we spoke with earlier helped tremendously, because we had, yeah, at the time we had large enterprise customers. We had more than, I think at that time it was 6,000 license holders, if you count individuals within those enterprises. And they are all using OneMob. So we do get a lot of inbound leads, people that have already seen it, they've already experienced it, they've responded to it already. So they hooked. It worked on them. So why won't it work on their customers? So I never felt pressurized to 10x all of a sudden, because as a founding AE, I think it is understood that it is a process, and that it does take time. It's a marathon and not a sprint.
Exactly. That makes a lot of sense. Awesome. You mentioned like you get a lot from like a lot of new customers from inbound leads, right? Are you also doing outreach for yourself?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
What kind of channels are you using apart from OneMob, of course? Is it like are you only using OneMob, or is it like also still cold calling and stuff like that, everything at the same time?
Look, again, for me, I'm in a catch-22. I'm telling my customers or my prospects that they should be using OneMob to reach out to new prospects. Gotcha. So I am not in the position where I can send emails out, because I'm saying, hey, there's a better way of doing it. Don't just send text emails, build microsites and share that in your email. So yes, to a certain extent, I do send out a lot of emails, but those emails all have OneMob microsites linked to them. So for me, it's also just very handy because I can track every single engagement. I can see when they've opened it. I can see when they've viewed it. I can see what other content they've interacted with. So for me, it's a no-brainer. But as I say to all my customers, multi-channel approach is obviously the way to go. I believe I've had success with cold calling. I still do it. My cold calling is maybe a little bit different because it's somebody that's reached out to me. They've asked for a demo, and I'll give them a call.
Nice.
So very nice. It's not all exclusively OneMob, I suppose. Yeah, but mostly.
Gotcha. How do you experience the context switching between like inbound leads, outbound leads? Well, creating microsites and then like writing emails and then doing calls and stuff like that. How do you experience that?
I must say it's gotten a lot easier if you're using the right AI tools. It really is. It's simple. I am probably fortunate in that most of my customers and the prospects that I reach out to is in North America. I'm in South Africa, so I'm currently 7 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time, 10 hours ahead of Pacific Standard Time. So in the mornings, I've got time to structure. I won't get interrupted. Even my colleagues are all still sleeping. So I'm in the fortunate position where I can plan, I can structure what I'm going to do in clusters, and then, switch through them in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. Like I actually just moved to San Francisco, so I'm on the west coast of the US, and almost everyone in my team is in Europe at this moment. So I have it the other way around, but it still works really well. So I think up until 10 or 11 a.m., it's very busy with emails and Slacks and WhatsApps and stuff like that. And then everything quiets down because people close their laptop, go to sleep. And then I have the entire afternoon just to do focus work, won't be disrupted, like disturbed. It's just... which is really good. So I think like the main learning we can derive from that is like move to another time zone than your team and you'll be perfectly fine.
You'll be all right.
Exactly. Awesome. Cool. Well, I think one of the interesting questions that that I had also in preparing this is that well, you guys are actually creating a new kind of channel, right? With outreach with OneMob. So yeah, using OneMob, you have a different outreach strategy, different outreach structure. What would you see is the future of the other more regular channels? Like for email, I can guess it already. It's probably like still email, but then with warm-up attached to it. But if you take a look at, for example, LinkedIn or cold calling or stuff like that, with the impact that you guys are having with warm-up, but also the impact of AI and stuff like that, what would be your like general vision of how those channels will develop?
In my opinion, it might not be a popular opinion. It's going to be a difficult balance. I already
Yeah.
receive tens of, maybe up to, I'd say, 60 emails a day that was generated. That's not by any person. It's just sent to me. So people are becoming numb to those kind of interactions, and you have to find something creative to really get their attention. Interesting stats by I think it was SalesLoft. SalesLoft actually says that the average C-suite executive receives at least 100, or on average 154 sales emails per day. So
Oh wow.
it's impossible. If they had to open each of those emails, it would take their whole working day. So you have to be creative. You have to find a way to stand out from the rest of the bunch. And again, my tactic is more of a sniper approach than a shotgun approach. I find it's just more productive, less frustrating. You get less doors closed in your face.
Yeah,
And
less
yeah,
rejection, less negativity.
yes, because that that really impacts on somebody in sales. The rejection, they say you've got to have a thick skin. You've just got to move on to the next one. It's a numbers game. All that. It still has a psychological impact on you, even though
Yeah.
it's we've all been there. We've got the thick skins. We've got the t-shirts. But if you can work creatively enough, and you can find a way where you can minimize those rejections, and when you start getting more positive input, you see how you start picking up and you start gathering speed. So I think now creativity and the creative use of AI, which is almost a conundrum, but you have to use AI creatively, not just off the shelf.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And I agree with the sniper approach, although it also seems a bit like the holy grail, like utopia, right? You basically are able to find your perfect customers and email them and only get positive replies and stuff like that. How do you do that? Like how do you filter? Basically, do you use like triggers or buying intent signals or something like that in order to find the leads that will basically to maintain your sniper approach? What's your strategy in that?
Well, I'll give you a very good example. On Monday, I got invited by email to a conference that's going to be held locally, and it's about marketing tech. It's the marketing tech gathering,
Yeah.
and they had a list of all the speakers and the topics that they're going to be addressing. And I went through it and I thought, there's a lot of those are all ideal customers for me. These are people that are head of digital sales and engagement. And all
Nice.
I did, There were 12 speakers. Of the 12 speakers on that list, I've got meetings booked with 7 of them.
That's a decent conversion rate.
Yeah, from cold leads. And that is just, again, I'm saying, hey, I wish I could be there. I got this invite. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there. But your subject that you're going to be speaking about is absolutely so close to my heart. I wish we could chat. This is what I do. Some content below. This is OneMob. Here's some examples. Saying the one is financial services. This is financial service examples. Some use cases and a white paper. So of the 12 that I reached out to, I've booked 7, and so one of the others committed to a meeting, but not in the next week. So I'll follow up with that one next week.
Very nice. So that's actually interesting. So basically what you're saying is that with the rise of AI and all of this fancy stuff, fancy tooling and technology, it's not that you don't have to have skills anymore as a salesperson. The skills will just differ. Like it's not about like, hey, how do you write the perfect email? Because like AI gets that better and better and better. But where do you find the leads? Like your creativity will become increasingly important as soon as like the numbers game will, what you said, everybody still think it's a numbers game. It will become a numbers game less and less and less, because the more people relying on numbers game, the less effective it will be. So then we go back to the basics, is like, who do I actually feel has a problem which we can solve? And nice.
Exactly.
That's a good insight. That's a very good insight. Awesome. Well, I really want to thank you. I really enjoyed this conversation. And before we close off, I don't know if there's anything that you still want to share with the viewers. So you mentioned in the beginning that you have a free plan for OneMob, but basically anything that you would like to get in front of the people watching here, feel free. The floor is yours. And otherwise,
You might regret.
Shameless plug is allowed.
No. I'm not going to plug anything. I've plugged enough. But you might regret this, Stephen. I feel very strongly about the sales industry, and you know what? I was in sales for maybe 10 years before I discovered the secret, and that is that people buy from people that like them. They don't necessarily buy from people that they like. I don't know if that makes sense. And you know what? Imagine you walk into a furniture store and you're just looking at a couple of couches. And a sales guy comes up to you and asks if he can help you. In that moment, you know instinctively, and this is subconsciously, you don't think about it, but you know whether he likes you or whether he's indifferent to you. And people will buy from people that like them. So I don't need you to like me. If I'm selling OneMob to you, I'm not interested whether you like me or not. I already like you. And you will know this in our interaction, in that video that I sent you. And that's why I believe the storytelling is so important. You need that connection. You need somebody to see that I like them. Before every discovery call that I go into, my wife always jokes about it. For me, it's showtime. I decide before I open my camera that I like Stephen. And it sets you up, it creates a mindset, and that person will know it. That you don't need to tell them, you don't need to show them, you don't need to promise them anything. They will know whether I like them or not. And if I don't like them, they're not going to buy anything from me. So if there's one secret that I can share with all new account executives or even people that have been here for a while, just try it. Just make that paradigm shift and decide you like the other people. And that way, they almost feel obliged not to disappoint somebody that likes them. I think that's the best way I can describe it. You feel awkward in disappointing somebody that really likes you.
Yeah. I can imagine.
And that's the only secret I would like to share. In addition to what
keep the rest for yourself. If they're at least as good, you should keep them for yourself. But no, but that's brilliant. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it 100%. Wow, that's awesome. Well, thanks so much for all of the insights and sharing your experiences and sharing your your secrets, just like this one. It's been a really great conversation, a lot of fun. So thank you for joining and participating, and for everyone watching. See you at the next one.
Thanks, Stephen.